The Western Conference NBA playoffs, round one, continues. The Los Angeles Lakers have a lofty series lead with 3 wins. Will overconfidence be their undoing, or will their passion and determination help them prevail against the Sacramento Kings? Round one of the NBA playoffs continues.
2K Sports is proud to present to you Game 5 of this first-round Western Conference matchup. With Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony and Allie LaForce on our sideline, I'm Kevin Harlan. Now Sacramento starting 5. Robertson is out there with Klay Thompson. Then there's Kevin Love. And then there's Antetokounmpo. And it's Shaq in at the center position. And for the Lakers, we've got Anthony. Hastings is out there with Duncan. Then there's Russell Westbrook. And it's Brown in at the 2. Look at the Lakers. Well, they and their fans expecting this series to win right here tonight on their home floor.
And it's what a lot of the experts were predicting before round one began. I don't think it'll be easy. These guys will not go down without a fight.
O'Neal is a force of nature. Once he gets it that low, it is a foregone conclusion.
Here's Robertson. Duncan grabs the rebound.
That wasn't a bad shot. Defense playing a little loose there. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
Yeah, a couple turnovers here early on in the quarter, but he's got to just tighten it up a little bit.
Robertson with it. Sacramento moving it around. Thompson for the triple. Rebounded by Anthony. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
And they're losing their concentration here, guys. Just sloppy with the ball.
The Kings have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Giannis outside. Launches from deep. The Lakers with the rebound. Now Brown. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court. Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Pass to Thompson. There's the triple. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Now here's Westbrook. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Robertson against Westbrook. Giannis kicks to Robertson. Buries the long-range jumper.
And generally, Robertson's a guy that likes to play free throw line and below, but here's a time where he steps out and launches from beyond.
Now here's Westbrook. Anthony down low. Giannis is there. Just 5 to shoot. Duncan down low. He's guarded by Love. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Sacramento's gone. Just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. From deep. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And even without
Man, look, I see a whole lot of more laughing at it. And it's cool, laughing. That shit ain't nothing but motivation for me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a hustler, man. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, man. The position I'm in right now, that's all I ever needed anyway. I ain't never think I was gonna be worth no $1 million no way, my nigga. I'm gonna be real. So even for me to be able to go make me 40, 50, 60, $70,000 a week, that's a blessing to me, homie. I start over. I get my shit together. But what I want to do is what my message is, I want to just be a mascot for all the up and coming artists who want to walk in these rooms and walk in these labels and think just because you surrounded with people and so it's the Atlantic deal. Now Finesse keep discriminating at Atlanta Records saying Atlanta Record deal states he received 1 million of bands and they control all, not some, not half, but all his music, including songs made before the deal. He gets 50% of the royalties, other recruitment, and other expenses. Finesse. All right, I see where we're going with this. This is what you're gonna have to do. This is what you're gonna have to do. And a couple artists, a lot of artists, gonna feel what I'm gonna say. What you're gonna have to do.
Here's Hastings. Misses and the price spell continues. Kings have gone just 2 slow start for them. Back to Antetokounmpo. O'Neal hits the line. He's it from three-point range.
It just seems that every pass they made is leading to a score. Just a great ball move.
And so J.J. Redick will call the timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. And the making a change here. Iverson's checked in. Somebody's checked in for the Kings. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. Doesn't go that time. Shaq with some nice deep. Kings leading now by 8. A shot by Thompson. It's and good work on the boards that pick up the second chance points.
I mean, the one guy you have to box out. Dikembe is so active.
Outside Westbrook. There's the drive. And he comes up with the deuce.
The struggle. You can feel the tensions in the building with each miss.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just how it goes. But also, we got to give credit to the defense. We're not making it easy out there.
Here's Antetokounmpo following the basket by Russell Westbrook.
I mean, that's a shot he takes. He just couldn't get it to go.
Robertson against Westbrook. Robertson passes to Mutombo. Shaq kicks to Thompson. Mutombo screen on Anderson. And the basket by Mutombo. Mutombo's got his second basket.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
Obviously, guys, brilliant conditioning.
No doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does great. Now the Kings with it. Hastings grabs the board. Lakers trail by 8. Pass to Duncan. 41 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Anthony with the pass to Iverson. Shaq with some nice deep. The Kings shooting in this first quarter around 38%. They're looking a bit crazy out there.
Sending Shaq right here is on paper the smart foul. They don't just make them regret.
Sacramento shooting their first free throws in this one.
You don't need numbers like this. You don't have to have it. There ain't no momentum beside playing. You take the top from the way. What we got, a lot of people go 2, 3, 4 million in the hole, give them like that deal. Plus, we got a gym.
good for O'Neal. And the Lakers with some changes. Now check in for Hastings. English comes in for Anthony. And it's James Harden in for Russell Westbrook. Wilkins is checked in for the Kings. Harden comes in for Robertson.
Tremendous score with the ball in his hands. Duncan, just too much for the lead to handle.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. No good on that. And the Kings making a change here. Good on the second.
That Duncan brings, just incredible. He's a consistent force. His teammates really look up to him.
Got that one. Matumbo's got 6. Here's Duncan. The Lakers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. That free throw missing. And he's good on the second. 5 seconds left in the first quarter. It's tipped and stolen by English. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Kings ahead. They lead by 9. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Los Angeles.
Houston has the catalog. And the catalog is mixed with Webby and LaFette. You can always perform the song. So that's what got that. He don't got no real history of good music, a whole bunch of it, but he can just keep doing shows forever.
So good to have you with us here as we bring you more action from courtside at Game 5. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Kings.
Well, they're in a great flow. Ball's moving. All those assistant buckets means the offense is running well.
And guys, they've also done a great job generating offense from their defense, forcing turnovers and making the defense pay.
And it's hard.
You got the deal, but
For the Los Angeles Lakers. They trail by 9 points. Duncan is out there with English. Then there's Allen Iverson. And there's Yao. And it's Harden in at the 1 spot. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. And the basket by Matumbo.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Pass to English. Excellent D there from Wilkins. Thompson right side. Fader on the way. Tim Duncan grabs the miss. And here's the Lakers. 11-point game. And it's Allen Iverson with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Jaylen Brown's checked in for James Harden. And a change for Sacramento. Love's checked in. Harden finds Wilkins. And we're starting the second quarter. 1 minute gone. Here's Harden. Oh, Harden pressing the action.
And what control from Harden inside, adjusting his shot perfectly for that short-range make.
Brown against Thompson. Brown right side. Sacramento grabs the miss. Inside. No shot missing. English with some nice defense. It's stolen by Wilkins. Driving inside.
You can tell Dominique Wilkins just has that extra edge to his game. He's always hunting down his next record and willing to fight to get it.
Russell Westbrook in for Los Angeles. And the Kings also making a change. Robertson, he's checked in for James Harden. Here's Westbrook. Finish that by Westbrook.
Above the rim athlete, even on the back nine. Westbrook sends it on.
Robertson passes to Love. Here's Wilkins. He's covered by Brown. Thompson from the line. Russell Westbrook with the rebound.
Well, he managed to see his way out of this coal spill, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense.
Now here's Robertson. After the missed foul on Allison. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Down against Wilkins. Jalen Brown with the rebound. And here we go with Westbrook.
Well, this is Westbrook at his best. So explosive and clever, operating in the open floor.
And Doug Christie wants a timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan.
Maybe you see what you in the hole in the other shit instead of because you're not producing new top tier records that generate millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. So maybe you need to focus. You need the bag right now. You ain't got enough money right now to go to war. You need the bag, so you need to focus. They just take money to go to war. So it's the courtroom, street, man, like, the money ain't right. You still got to protect you. Oh, man, you still got to fund your lifestyle. That, because it's just good. Do what you can do, then come back. Because all you're doing is staying relevant on this. That's it. Then call out on the back, yo, like, yeah. The last slide, right? This slide I just had, I just put up to say, he got the money bag. They were reading at the top of the mark. For y'all who don't know, you think I was just going there, bro, for no reason. I want to do some changes.
Hastings, he's checked in for you. And it's English in for number 1 for Sacramento.
In my contract,
and it's James Harden in for Klay Thompson.
Bro, I knew I needed that big I told, bro,
Kings
man, this project, bro, like, goddamn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna get all the way into the details, but that was the main reason why I felt the way about brother, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he, you know, as an artist, where I come from, what I was going through, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you should have some type of real nigga about yourself, you know what I'm saying? Bro, let's do this album. Like, you don't think the streets want to hear finesse? But he could have received $1 million. Bag had to do an album with him. He said Bag want to do the album. But that's you saying it from your point of view. He's saying, well, you know my situation, you know where I'm from, and you know I needed the money. Yeah, but then you probably was already stick hating and talking shit behind Bad back, thinking that shit ain't gonna get back to him because you talking to your partners. You think they ain't gonna tell Bad because you don't know that they do ride Bad. They really want to be down over there with them because they see that's the breadwinner team. It is bread game, and they see you a hater, selfish, don't break bread, don't even like us hanging over there with Bad gambling. So, you need to go back to him and tell him that. He can keep the energy. Man, shit ain't like this now.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. And the Kumbo inside. Crowd on him. 6 to shoot. Down low. Line and that tight line.
Setting that screen so that he can slip it and get in scoring position.
Pass to Hastings. Also with his three. For Sacramento, they've gone 3-7 shooting the ball here in the second. They get the rebound. Goes careening off the glass. No one near Westbrook as he lets it go. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Robertson outside. Here's the three. And English kicks to Brown. Los Angeles with another miss. And so it's Harden bringing it up for Sacramento. Defense is only left 4 points in the quarter. Pass to Westbrook. And a foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, picking up his second foul, he can still be aggressive, but has to be smart about it.
Some changes for Sacramento. O'Neal's check in from the tempo, and it's Klay Thompson in for James Harden. Now here's Robertson. A post shot. No shot that time. Right on target.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Westbrook passes to Iverson. They kick out to Brown. Shot clock at 6. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Robertson with the steal. Los Angeles with another miss. Sacramento leading by 13. Here's
How do you even come up with something like that? Giannis is an artist.
And here's Westbrook. It's tipped. Stolen by O'Neal. And so it's Sacramento riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
He has patience. He can do this. That's why he did but something about them thought maybe it's going to do right. So they gave you a shot.
Welcome everybody, and in this midfield, 5'8" tremendous performance thus far for the Sacramento Kings.
Just because he rushing to doing the project, that don't mean they're going to do it. Sometimes
that means no run for the defense. They're out there.
Artists, I want you to build yourself up a little bit more.
Seeing how things are shaking down for the Lakers, guys, a chance for them to close out the series.
That's right, Ernie. But these games are tough. I mean, these other guys
you want to make sure you're on this level.
Yeah, so
that's what kind of drop the tape. It's going to be appreciated.
Always did.
People know your story because like your boys,
Well,
like
I
I
for
like
hoping for a good game.
It's going to sell for, then when you look back, we can get 2 M's apiece.
And that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back to Kevin Harlan for the beginning of the third quarter.
So they know how we're going to deliver. We may do a 2-hour deal. Get about 6 M's, 7 M's, 8 M's. But you was rushing, trying to play catch up. You wasn't hurting from him.
NBA playoff round 1. Thanks for joining us as we get back to the action on the court. Look at Dikembe Mutombo. He's been playing really well.
There must be ice water in his veins. It's such an important game, and he plays superb basketball in that opening half.
Yeah, kind of what you expect from a guy his caliber. Don't be surprised if the second half is just as good.
Look at that. How many takes he got with bad? How many M's that he made with bad?
And we're with you again as our round 1 coverage
Look at the
continues.
support you would have if you would have stayed.
On the floor for Sacramento, Shaquille O'Neal is out there. And then there's Antetokounmpo. And there's Klay Thompson. And it's Robertson in at the 1. Now here's Antetokounmpo. Robertson passes to Giannis. And the 3 on top.
You cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Westbrook smooth with the triple.
O'Neal floats it up for Giannis. And here we go with Westbrook running up the court. Here's Hastings. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Kings leading now by 12. Here's Antetokounmpo. The Lakers with the rebound. Hastings got his 5th rebound in this one.
He has not been able to get it done.
And his coach.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points to know that defense is going Well, halftime is supposed to be the adjustments. I'm sure this isn't what they had in mind.
Here's Hastings to fix the pass. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession.
Great energy on the deflection, and a good job disrupting their offense.
Yeah, there's nothing easy on offense. Coaches love seeing that kind of hustle on the defensive end.
Is a problem in the paint. Outstanding with his extension there and just hammering it home.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his third foul of the game. 2 minutes into the second half of play. And just he wants a timeout. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out.
Prediction markets are now available based on anything from all of the security download the Coinbase app today. Would you say that the have a lineup in line to watch it 4 games? You can pick players and how many people in your circle play practice? All of them, all that was who is better place to play the game? What I say, all that have better place.
And just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. On the wing, Antetokounmpo can't get it to go.
This will make you a little uneasy. Listen, 4 in a row. Start the third.
There's Hastings. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 each of the free throw.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Los Angeles shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And good on the second. So Nixon going forward.
Damn.
That's his 4th foul of the contest.
That's his 4th foul. Gotta be careful now.
The Lakers making a switch here. Iverson's checked in.
Because they feel like it's looking too far, they can tell every week. I mean, out of WrestleMania, they do this part, they do something interesting, and they go with maybe what they know is good for. On the one on four, and maybe a little bit of the next couple of months. And people will go for it again. He does have this hard season. Jacob versus Roman and Backlash. Tuesday's match. And I like to call it some Jacob. I like to see him in there, but I like to see him they are talking down to the crowd a little bit more. I feel like they're going to play that kind of in-between role where the people are not necessarily the bad guys, but they're going to be very at Backlash, I do fully expect Roman to win. What I'm really interested in is it feels like it's more on the Backlash and Jacob. But I feel like people are interested in the Lakers doesn't play the 1-1. You need somehow force through the bloodline of the
Robertson
Wolverine.
against Harden.
Kind of like
Thompson
Jay,
from
before
long
this
range.
was like Iron Man
And he grabs the board.
remember? Jay
Anthony's
Cutler,
got
they
his
had to
fourth
get
rebound in
one.
this one.
But this Wolverine
And
is
so
a little
J.J.
different.
Redick will call a
He's
timeout.
on top of the
Looking
world,
for a
and
ball
he's going to
game
use for
maybe in just
of
anything
freedom
or
to
two.
work with. So it may not be so much a bonus launching that
He's
control
checked in for the Lakers.
They can make it as simple as Jimmy Johnson.
Here's Los Angeles now.
Loses.
They're on a 13-4 run right now. Hastings. And English gets to Duncan. Oh, good on the dribble. Kings lead now by 6. Hardy's left side for 3. It's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got 3 assists now in this one.
And a quiet shot from distance. Didn't even try a three. And right now, LeBron's got too deep in the second half.
And just the fantastic Two free throws coming up, and they keep the shot front. Kings have been successful at one of the free throw attempts in this one. He's off on the foul. Sacramento making some changes. Lucas goes in for the lead, and it's Harden to the bench.
Here's where it feels like things are going to shift. We get a little bit. I don't think Warren's going to be a starter next game.
44 seconds left to play in the third.
I don't know there. I think if you can do is you can tag out. We're only not being there. We can use her and Jacob to not cover them the world. And then going against the vision. We thought previously on Raw that they had 3 crops come out. They're all powered in the completion. And I don't think that people are going to be like and it plays into what could be happening later. Storyline. Over the vision, fighting Usos and Jacob. You have the elements called even there.
Here's
Which is interesting. So you get to a 6-man tag, maybe a Saturday night main event, and you have to do with Jacob, Jacob Ward. Make sure how to aggressive. It's 2 tag you would give them kind of a thing. But maybe they can switch to Jacob. Okay, go do back at me. I think it's a story before. They can't get on the same page. There's all attention in the bloodline because they like doing that stuff. And you end up with Braun Breaker getting the pin on, say, Jimmy. And that keeps the vision a little bit strong, especially with Braun Breaker just having...
This filter chooses the best style for you.
You've got Allen Iverson. English is out there. Then there's Russell Westbrook. And it's Yao in the center, walking down the middle. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Pass to Lala. Sacramento leading by 6. Outside. Kings moving the ball around. Makes it on the glass.
He's the kind of player that has you awake at 3 a.m. asking yourself,
Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Final shooting. English misses. And it's Harden with the ball for the English misses.
this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't
Second minute on the clock now in the fourth. And that's going to be a turnover. They called for 8 seconds.
No doubt the offense was better from the second half.
Hastings comes in front.
And him and Braun Breaker just did a stare down, and the crowd went, ooh, and you know that's a good thing with me. That's what she said. So I think that you could end up having... at Clash, Breaker versus Roman, Spear versus Spear, and you also get the big element Paul Heyman in there. I don't want to see Paul Heyman switch off and go back to the bloodline, but I think that because of all the history, because of the deception of Paul Heyman, siding with Braun Breaker, and you didn't get this match, did you? When Roman came out of WrestleMania 41, they were on Raw, him and Punk, Seth, and then you had Braun Breaker show up and the Vision was born. This is all after the turn of Paul Heyman. We didn't get that payoff, did we? Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear we only got Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns twice. We never got Braun Breaker versus Roman. I think that they could almost circle the bloodline and Roman Reigns back around to fight the Vision. Roman Reigns finally kind of gets his big win over Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, and you're building and continuing a lot of those bloodline tensions and story threads that they've been using for years. You have a history of Paul and Roman. Roman kind of checked that off. They're like, hey, he beat Braun Breaker. But I'm going to say that might be the match at Clash in Italy. Then you fast forward, and you got Night of Champions has been recently announced. Now, what's interesting with Night of Champions is that they typically do the big King of the Ring finals. And the winner of Night of Champions, King of the Ring, goes off to fight the champion at SummerSlam. I kind of like how they do that, honestly. So there's two pieces here that are big for Night of Champions. One, who's Roman's opponent, assuming Roman's going to fight him, but I think he's on the poster already and advertised. So they're going to do something with Roman, and it's in Saudi Arabia. They're going to have Roman Reigns there, ladies and gentlemen. Because it's in Saudi, and the money's involved, and it's TKO, they're going to want to put as much megastar power, stardom behind all of it that they possibly can. So I wonder, what are they going to do for Night of Champions? If you're continuing a bloodline story with Roman and being dominant world champion all the way through, and if he's gone through Jacob, if he's gone through the Vision, do you have another rematch of Seth versus Roman at Night of Champions? Seth could win a number one contendership, maybe against Braun Breaker. I go back to the theme of they want star power. Like, sure, I want to see LA Knight versus Roman or something. You could do Gunther. You could do somebody else, but I don't feel like they've built up everybody to the Roman level. It's kind of thin air. So who's somebody credible that is ready to go, has a ton of history with everyone involved? It's Seth. And it kind of reminds me of when they did the Roman-Seth match at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. Seth had the Shield gear on, but at that point, Seth just kind of approached Roman and messing with him, getting in his head. And there's so much history. And you have the added bonus history, recent history, of Seth with the Vision. And they've all turned their back on him. With Paul Heyman turned his back on Seth. Seth wanted to get revenge on Paul Heyman. Roman not liking Paul Heyman. And Roman and Seth not liking each other. There's so much in there. So you want to give the Saudi crowd something huge to work with. I think you could have it be a one-off match that you built for about a month and a half of Seth versus Roman. And also, you can have them maybe interacting and running into each other as they are dealing with the Vision for several months. The other option, and I mentioned this for a second, is Gunther. Now, you could do Gunther versus Roman at Night of Champions. I don't like this as much because I think WWE still wants to keep Gunther basically undefeated. He could lose to Roman. It's not a problem if he loses to the world champion, but I think they're going to want to have Gunther properly go after the world title or even get it at a later point. I personally don't really like the story of Gunther versus Roman, at least right now. I think they want to do so much bloodline story to do the heavy lifting. If you insert Gunther in there, yeah, it'll be fine. It might even be really good. It'd be a good match. But the build to it, I just feel like it'd be more Gunther doing the Gunther thing, which is I beat everybody and I'm going to beat you, Roman Reigns, and then they just have a match. Now you can have some cool history of Gunther and Jay and the world title in there. Jay's just sticking it to Gunther because he beat him at WrestleMania. Well, there's some story in there I think you could really tell. But right now, I would probably say that maybe, just maybe, that Seth is a really good option for kind of the main story right there at Night of Champions. Saturday's main event is in July. I don't think Roman Reigns would show up in there. But before we go to SummerSlam and what that could look like, there are two other things in here in this whole Roman Reigns story arc going to SummerSlam I think they could address, bring in, make it really interesting. Number one, I think before SummerSlam happens, if they really want to rekindle Bloodline stuff and put a new spin and twist on it all, I think maybe you could get Sami Zayn to hook back up with the Bloodline. And not old version Bloodline Sami Zayn, you have this new heel version of Sammy. You lose the trick, you can't get the US title back, the crowd is booing Sammy like crazy. If WWE wants to get heat on the bloodline and make them bad guys, or at least Jimmy and Jay, and make them more heels, but Roman's kind of in between, because it's hard for anybody to just boo Roman Reigns.
Search and play Snake in the Google app. Just type Snake Game to play daily challenges. Customize what your snake or food looks like, or just play the classic. Right in the Google app. Search, play, repeat. Download the Google app.
Bet $5 on one player to get the longest home run of the day. If he does, you win a share of the $50,000 in fan cash jackpot. If no one wins, their goal goes. Download Fanatic Sportsbook. Start betting on the MLB season. But if they want to give them more of an edge, you bring Sammy back, and he hooks back up with Jimmy and Jay, and they're reforming the bloodline of the good old days. And again, I'm thinking about WWE wanting to lift up their stories and trying to get the audience interested again. A bad guy Sami Zayn is an interesting twist because we didn't see that during the Bloodline era. It was all Sammy's story of being reluctant, of not wanting to do certain things. Now that he sees the light, he might just be really egging on Roman to do some big nasty things. You could get Sammy versus Jacob, and bringing Sammy over to Raw maybe is a little bit more interesting, although the Bloodline may tend to just go to both shows and it doesn't even matter. So I think that's number one. I think it's one piece that would be pretty compelling is what dynamic would Sammy bring if he went back into the Bloodline? The other one is what could happen at Night of Champions. And you have the King of the Ring finals. I think Oba Femi wins. You put Oba in the King of the Ring tournament, the finals are at Night of Champions, maybe against Gunther, and you have Gunther lose there, because then they could tell that story down the road again. But from Backlash to SummerSlam, you're telling a Oba Femi story week by week, month by month, and it's totally separate from Roman. You had the one tease after WrestleMania of Oba Femi saying he's coming for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns talking about Oba. It's there. Is that worth it for SummerSlam? Is that a WrestleMania match? To me, I'm good either way. I think you could easily do that for WrestleMania. However, I think you have this massive momentum with Oba Femi. The reactions are huge. He gets the rub. He goes over on Brock Lesnar. You got to do something and capitalize on Oba and his popularity. And don't do the traditional WWE thing of let's just let it simmer, linger, and stretch it out way too long. I think that they are going to treat Oba like Brock / Goldberg from the days of WCW. Dominant, undefeated, climbs the ranks, win, gets the title. So I think Oba in Night of Champions in Saudi, he's going to get that massive reaction, and I think Oba wins. Oba retains that Night of Champions, and out of that, you have your SummerSlam Night 2 main event, Oba Femi versus Roman Reigns. And you build the bloodline story for months. Jacob being in there. And along the way, you can do Jacob versus Oba if you want. You can do Oba versus Jimmy and Jay. You could have Oba Femi basically just go through the bloodline, dismantle them all to get to Roman Reigns at the end. And then you have a cool passing of the torch almost of Oba Femi dominating from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. Gets the world title from Roman, and off Roman goes for a few months. And Oba Femi's your new world champion. You have a young champion. That match, what do you think? Do you think that it would be like 15, 20 minutes, like a Roman Reigns bloodline match? They could do that. Oh, oh. Oh.